And there we learn a lot about Revan. Atten.
You have befriended the seer.
Mirror
Her
Luker.
species does not see as we do. They perceive the galaxy through the Force, and it is how she found you. It is a rare gift squandered on her people. The Sith carry the battle to you, and you spare them. And as we travel, the empty places of this ship are filled. I hope your thoughts in this matter are clear. If you take her on as a servant, know that the Sith meet their end at the hands of their apprentices. It is not something I would wish to happen to you. This one you have saved has other masters. Though blind, she has ties to darkness. Her presence here is a threat to us, to you. Do not underestimate her, or her loyalty. Perhaps. I am not convinced.
Atten said her plan was wiped out.
Did he? And what do you make of that?
Well, if her people could all see through the Force, maybe someone wanted to blind them.
The Mandalorians were right to respect you on the field of battle. The Jedi are gone, vanished. Now, an entire planet of Force sensitives wiped clean of life. And now this slice of the galaxy is blind. It is no coincidence. The two events are tied.
Someone wants to sector the galaxy blind to the Force so they can move freely, or strike.
I fear you are right. And I fear it may prove more than that. War is a hunger. And there are spirits in the galaxy whose hunger is never satisfied. But there is little to be done about it now. Watch the seer carefully. She may reveal more.
I had other questions.
Ask, and I will answer.
She did something to my eyesight.
She did nothing to your eyes that was not already there. She has forced this upon you, but such crude methods are the markings of the Sith. Close your eyes.
Alright.
Feel this ship around you. The welding of the droid as it goes about its work. Now, stretch out. Hear the rumble of hyperspace, the hum of the hyperdrive. Ignore distractions and focus on my voice. The breathing of the blinded one as she meditates in the dark. Now, listen deep, past her breathing, and listen.
As my feet walk from the ashes of KOTOR, I shall not fear, for in fear lies death, and...
I heard her thoughts.
You are strong indeed. What you heard were surface thoughts only, but it is something that masters have trained for years and never learned.
How did I do it?
That is not the real question you should ask. Is such listening enough to perceive the world around you? It is not, because to listen to the thoughts of another is much like attempting to see the universe only with your eyes. It is equally limiting. Now leave me be. I must rest.
Nice.
Yes? Then ask.
What are you?
Does it matter? Of course it does. Such titles allow you to break the galaxy into light and dark, categorize it. Perhaps I am neither, and I hold both as what they are, pieces of a whole. Know that I am your teacher, and that is enough.
Then what were you?
What do you wish to hear? That I once believed in the code of the Jedi? That I felt the call of the Sith? That perhaps once I held the galaxy by its throat? That for every good work that I did, I brought equal harm upon the galaxy? That perhaps what the greatest of the Sith Lords knew of evil they learned from me? What would it matter now? There is only so much comfort in knowing such things, and it is not who I am now.
I still wish to hear the story.
There are dark places in the galaxy where few tread, ancient centers of learning, of knowledge, but I did not walk alone. To be united by hatred is a fragile alliance at best.
It's Cracked Skin Man and Cloak and Dagger Man.
But my will was not law. There were disagreements, ambition, and hunger for power. There are techniques within the Force against which there is no defense.
Rage.
I was cast down, stripped of my power, exiled. I suffered indignities and fell into darkness. Learn from me, my mistakes, and use that knowledge to become greater than I. That is all I ask of you, and that is all I desire. In you all my hopes rest for the future, for the Force. If it means so much to you, then this I swear to you upon my life, upon our lives, that when your training is complete, I will answer everything. There shall be no more shadows between us, only truth that exists between master and apprentice.
I had other questions.
Ask, and I will answer.
Did you know Atris?
Atris herself is not as familiar to me as perhaps she should be. Yet I feel I know her, yes.
What do you mean?
Because Atris's path is one I walked long ago, and it is a chapter of my life that has been read and closed. She has taken the first steps, I think. We shall see. Surely you felt the righteous anger, the spoken judgments, the lack of forgiveness.
You walked her path?
I was a historian once, gathering the relics of the Jedi, learning the ancient mysteries. Always there were more questions. One quickly learns that the Jedi Code does not give all the answers. If you are to truly understand, then you will need the contrast, not adherence to a single idea. That is why Atris and the others blamed me, sentenced me. They believed me responsible for Revan's fall.
You trained Revan?
You have already asked much. I do not wish to speak of this any longer. Ask, and I misspoke before.
Okay. Holy Christ. All the experience. My orange saber.
My life for yours.
Are you alright?
I am able to serve. If we enter battle, I will fight and die alongside you.
That's not what I asked. I asked if you were alright.
I have not heard that question in some time. My flesh is healed, if that's the answer you seek.
I didn't mean to hurt you.
I know. And I fear that others will see the mercy in your actions. And in my survival. And use it as a weapon to do you greater harm.
How did you find me?
I felt you. Heard you through the Force. It was like a sound at the edge of hearing. And when I heard it, I found I could not ignore it.
Who sent you?
I serve my master. I am an emissary, a scout. My master was aware of a disturbance in the Force, but was unaware of its nature, of you. The disturbance is not something one feels from a living thing. There is little my master does not know, and that you eluded his sight for so long is significant. But I do not know why.
How did you...
You cannot. His vessel roams the borders of known space, and even I do not know where he travels. Until he calls for me, even if I could lead you to my master. I cannot permit you to find him until you are ready.
Ready.
If I bring you before my master, untested, without your potential realized, then you will be lost to me, and I cannot allow that to happen. It would be as if one brought fire to a paradise valley, shattered a cavern of rare crystal, or blinded a painter. I cannot, I will not. I would die first, and gladly, to preserve you, untouched, unharmed. Now that I have found you, I cannot sacrifice what I have found. You will meet my master. It is inevitable. I have seen it. And when you stand before him and realize what you face, you must be prepared. Until then, I must protect you, help you, until you are ready.
Why are you doing this?
There's a greatness in you. A greatness that does not stem from the Force. It stems from who you are. And if my master does not understand you, cannot see you, then perhaps there is hope for us all. But if you seek to survive, then you must understand why this is so.
Okay, how are you able to do it?
There is much I see my master cannot. I fear it is because of my nature, the nature of my race. My people spend their lives seeing the galaxy, the energy streaming off stars, the growth of life, all things touched by the Force. It is not a subject which I have spoken of since its destruction. I've heard tales of Malachor. It is said that many of my people felt the end of the Mandalorian Wars from across the galaxy. But do not mistake me. I did not mean to draw comparisons between KOTOR and Malachor. My homeworld still exists. It is intact. I am not certain I did. I was there when the planet died, to see everything around you extinguished. It was as if I was blinded. It was as if the Force had been bled from the world.
As if suddenly everything went silent.
I imagine there are worse deaths, worse pain. But if there are, I do not know them. I was the only living thing remaining on the planet of KOTOR. And my life, my agony, was a flicker in the darkness that was the planet. All that I had been connected to had been severed. Yes, but it was not survival. I still wonder what would have happened if I had died with the others. If perhaps there would have been some way to hide my presence from the galaxy. If only I had not felt that pain, that loss, as strongly as I did. But it could not be done. When the life was bled from the planet, and yet somehow I remained. My master came for me. He walked upon the surface of my dead world. And there, lying in the bodies of my race, he took me for his own. And he made me see. And for the first time I saw the galaxy. And I wished to die.
He made you see?
To this galaxy, my world, absent the currents and spectrums of the Force, was nothing but crude matter, rock, flesh, emptiness. He showed the flickering of life on other planets. The mass of beings that swarm through the empty places of the galaxy. To see such creatures, disconnected from themselves, their world, their place in it, unable to see the currents and how they affected everything around them.
Why'd he show you?
He showed me to make me believe in his cause. He convinced me the galaxy, all life, must die. He fed upon its ugliness, its screaming, and in its place, he left silence. And where there was chaos, he brought stillness and order. It was not a thing done with machines or weapons. The Force is far more terrible, and it touches more lives than any machine can hope to slay. For everyone that feels the Force, strongly, deeply, each one feels and perceives it in their own way. You have strengths, whether you know it or not. And my master has his. His power is great, and it comes from hunger. He is a wound in the Force, more presence than flesh. And in his wake, life dies, sacrificing itself to his hunger. And those who feel the Force strongly are beacons to his hunger. My people, my planet, would have been attacked in time. It was inevitable. Yet we could do nothing about it. The Jedi, the last council of the Jedi, came to our world to meet in secret. They hoped that perhaps among our people, they could achieve the clarity to see what was striking them from the darkness of the galaxy. They succeeded, but only in bringing him from the outer regions. And KOTOR, with my kind, with the Jedi upon its surface, could no longer be ignored. And my people died, and the Jedi died. And there was no one left, only me.
Holy shit.
He cannot deny his hunger for long. And any gathering of Jedi is something he cannot long resist. And now that the Jedi are vanishing, I do not know what will happen. Perhaps he will grow strong enough to eradicate all life, merely with his presence. They hoped to see the threat that had been stalking them, and they did. But they were unprepared for the magnitude of the threat. I will answer what I can, but my answers may prove useless to you.
We'll see. Was your master the one sent to Paragus?
I am not familiar with the place you speak of. My master has not entered Republic space for some time, but there are others who may move more freely, who may have been responsible for such an act of destruction. There are many factions within the Sith, all seeking to take what little remains in the wake of the Jedi Civil War. Where one moves, it is not always known to the others. But their purpose is the same. The death of all Jedi, everywhere. They believe you are the last of the Jedi, and their hatred of the Jedi unites them. All their eyes are upon you, and it is a terrible, quiet darkness that pursues you. Forgive me, but before you go, I must ask. Why do you do this? Why do you seek to help me? Teach me.
I believe you can...
You must not do this. I cannot allow you to weaken yourself for me.
To help another is not a weakness. It's a strength. It strengthens them both.
So you say. But it is not something I have observed or seen.
What do you mean?
I remember little of my homeworld before I entered my master's service. It is not as it was. There is little left of such memories. Or the planet itself. It is not a subject which I have spoken of.
Oh! All that light side. Upgrade an item. Upgrade. Blaster bolt deflection. Bandar. Dragite. Assemble. Upgrade. Underlay. Nope. Cancel. Yeah, it didn't do it that time. Cool. T3. Alright, let's take a look. How do you feel? Nice. Huh. How's the Ebon Hawk? Other questions? Never mind. Alright, I'm gonna take Atten and Visas. That's how you say your name? Oh shit. I'll upgrade them later. Do. Blaster rifle, I'll upgrade to 1 to 10. Never mind, I'm leaving that. Kreia, leaving you here for now, so you can deal. T3 and Visas. You'll get my Vibro sword. It was a good sword, and I hope it serves you well. Chani shield, Arcanian, and I'm gonna give you, because you are one, the Dark Jedi Night Clothes. Add and add.